I don't go to McDonald's very often because, you know, it's McDonald's and it's McDonald's. But every once in a while I have to. So the other day I had to go, I was in a pinch, ran out of time, had to go there for lunch. I get there and I stare at the menu. I have no idea what to get. Finally, I decided to have a kid's meal. Man, his mom was pissed. Hey kids, Adam here. Today I'm going to show you how to use regions in Reaper and how I will take a couple bass parts and put them into a song arrangement. So I was working on this for my band Underground Hive, and it's a new song we're working on, just a couple bass riffs that I've been working on, and I reached into the bass riff library and found something that we worked on a number of years ago that never really happened, and it went into a song and decided to put it in this song. So went into Reaper, started recording some things, started throwing things around, and then realized that this would be a great idea for a video. So let's head over to Reaper. I'll show you what I'm doing, show you what I'm working on. And all right, here we are in Reaper. I started out with just this drum loop. It's just a real simple beat. Something I threw together in Easy Drummer and then just rendered out to Wave to make it easier. What I usually do is I think I'm at measure 20 here. I just throw this like 10, 20 measures into the project, and I start from here in case I need to go back further. It's just something I do for my own thing. So let's put a new track here. We'll record on it. We'll call it bass. We'll make it blue because blue is for B for bass. And just check my sound level here. That should be pretty good. So I have, let me just record the first part that I have and we'll go from there. I'm going to just give it a measure count in, and then I'm going to start from there. 2 measures. All right, so now I want to create my first region. So if I zoom in here, move the part over a little bit, I just want to trim this down to the beginning and the end. Now, I'm not recording a song here. I am arranging a song. So I want scratch tracks. I want easy parts. I want parts that I can work with and just kind of move around and play around with. I'm not looking for a finished product here by any means. All of these things will be re-recorded. What I want to do is I just want to put my song form together. Form, arrangement, structure, whatever you want to call it. So I want to create a selection out of this. I can either click and drag this little selection here, or I can click on the first part, hold down Shift, click on the last part. While you have this area selected, if you go to the Insert menu and choose Region, or just hit Shift R, it brings up this new region and creates a new region. Right click and do Edit Region, or Shift and double click on it. And I'm going to call this, I know kind of where this is going already. So this is a section that's going to come right after the chorus. It's going to be like a refrain, or let's call it a post-chorus. So post-chorus, give it a color. We'll choose blue because we can. So then I'm ready to record the next part. First thing I want to do is hit Escape to get rid of this time selection so that it doesn't screw up Reaper and its recording mind and everything. And then I'm just going to hit Control R. I'm going to start from here and we'll trim it out when we're done. And this will be the verse part. All right, and then we'll do the same thing. Trim this part off, and don't worry about missing, the beginnings or the endings of parts. That's not a big deal. We're gonna make a selection here. Gonna scroll over a little bit. Hit Shift R to create a region, and this one we're just gonna call the verse. And we can keep this color. It's fine. The default color is no problem. And we'll go on to the next part. This is going to be the chorus. So You notice that part had an extra measure on the end. It's actually a 9 measure phrase, but I want to change that up later, and I only want to use 8 measures of it in some places and 9 measures in other. But for this, I'll record all 9, and then we'll deal with it later. And I just hit a note in the end because it was cool. So same thing here, create our region, Shift R, and we're going to call this the chorus. And the last part I have is this kind of riff instrumental thing going on here. And let me record that real quick before we finish. All right, not exactly the cleanest, but it'll work for what we're doing. So the same thing here, want to trim this down. Don't need the end notes. Create our region. We will call this the bridge riffy riff part, because that's what it is. It's the bridge riffy riff part. And we'll make this yellow because why not? Okay, now that I have my 4 parts written, I have the post-chorus, the verse, the chorus, and the bridge riffy riff part, because that's what it's called. So your standard song structures for this kind of song is probably going to be verse, chorus, post-chorus, and then do it again, verse, chorus, post-chorus. May have some instrumental thing in the middle of that, but I think they work well enough to go into, back to back like that. And then we want to go to some sort of bridge, solo, and then a chorus and out to the end. So let's build that song structure. Before I start, I want to rename this chorus to chorus with build, because it has the extra measure and it's a 9 measure chorus, and that'll come into play in a little bit. For starters, let's go for the verse. And what I want to do is I want to leave these 4 parts intact, and then I want to build these and drag these over. So with regions, the great thing about it is you can just click on a region and move it. And if you see this little marker thing, wherever you drop it, if you drop to the left, it's going to drop the left portion of the region. If you drag it to the right, it's going to drop the right portion. I'll drag it to the right first. You see how it ends where I dragged it. And if you drag it to the left, it starts where I left off. So for building this song, we want to start on, I'm going to actually start on measure 18 here, and I'm going to scroll in far enough that you can see 18, kind of move over, and I'll take the verse. I'm going to hold down control. I'm going to copy this over to measure 18. So now I have a copy of the verse. Next thing I want to do is I want to do the chorus. Now I'll take a copy of this and move it over here. But I mentioned I only want to do the 8 measure chorus here. So put my cursor on here and I can just drag this over, and then I can drag the region over. If I can find the magic 2 pixel spot to drag it. And then what I want to do here is just take off with build, and I want to rename this to something, or give it another color. And we'll just do like a dark green, because it's still a chorus, so it's still green. So now we have our chorus. Now I can just drag the post chorus over. We have that. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do verse. I'm going to do chorus, but I'm going to copy this one over instead of the other one, because that's only the 8 measure one, and then post chorus. And now we're up to the point where we want the riff in. So then I'll still hold control in, bring the riff in. And now we have like this song structure. I'll just play it for you here. I'm going to skip ahead because the next section is going to be the same 3 things. So I'll skip ahead to this part right where we are on the post chorus, and it goes into the bridge. we need a part. So at this point in the song, I think we're going to go into a guitar solo. At least this is what we're going to start with. So the arrangement I want to build is to arrange going into the guitar solo. Guitar solo, the end of this riff part, it begs to go to a low B. And the post chorus is perfect for that because it starts on the B, and that's this part. But I don't want to do the whole thing. So let's copy this over. And what I want to do is the other way of what I did before. So I want to drag from the beginning. Let me find the midway point on this. Let's measure 78 here. So I want to drag from the beginning over to here, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the region. And then I can drag the whole thing over. So now we have the end of the riff into the post-chorus. And now we want to go into the real guitar solo. So this will kind of be just the instrumental after the riff part, building things up. Maybe, you know, maybe we drop out a little bit and build up. Maybe we have some extra keyboard notes in there. I mean, it's something. We'll figure it out as we write it. For now, what I want to do is change the name of this to, we'll just call it Solo 1 because there's going to be several parts to this. And we'll make it orange to kind of stand out. And I think this will go really well into the chorus. But I want to do, I think I want to do the build coming out of this. And I thought this over a little bit. I think one time through the chorus with the build, which is only 9 measures, it's kind of a short guitar solo. So I want to do both. So I'm going to take this dark green one over here, copy it over, and then the light green one over here, copy this over. I'm going to give this a different color and call it Solo 2. We'll give it the orange color. And this one I'm going to call Solo 3. And again, give it the orange color just because that differentiates the whole guitar solo. So now we have this coming out of the riff into what was the post-chorus, kind of build up, and then we just dive right into the solo, which is going to be a guitar solo now over the chorus. And if we go to the end of the first time, there's one build and it's one measure, and then it goes right back into the chorus. But at the end of this one, then it goes into the 2-measure build. And I did that little slide on purpose because I think what I want to have next is I want to have a singing chorus, like we're pretty much the end of the song here. We kind of like to build our songs, have a solo, and a lot of the times actually if I'll put a card up here to the song Cash, it's almost like a 2-part song where we have all of our singing, all of our verses and all of our choruses, and then we kind of just really drop out and go to a real quiet guitar solo part that just extends and builds and builds and builds and builds all the way to the end. This one's going to be a little bit different because I want to do a reprise back to the chorus, but I think I want to do 2 of them. And I don't want to do that. I want to do the 8-measure one first, but I also want to do the extra build last. So what I'm going to do is copy over the regular chorus and then copy over the bright green chorus with the build. And now we're pretty much ready for the end of the song. So after, 2 times to the chorus, and one thing that I've been thinking about through this is we actually are going to have 4 choruses right in a row. 2 of them are guitar solo, 2 of them are singing. I don't think it'll be too much, but we do have to be cognizant of that when we're writing and finally doing the arrangement and the lyrics and all that other stuff to make sure that we're not overpowering people and just like killing them with the pop chorus, which we don't really want to do. We're not a pop band. We don't really want to just, obliterate them with whatever our chorus lyrics are like 100 times in the song. But for now, I think this will be good. So let's go to the end of this chorus and the build. And I think the riff actually will be a good part to play again. And then because I don't know if I want to do it full time or halftime. I think I only want to do it halftime. So I'll do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to shorten this up from the left. But then what I want to do is I want to take this last note and I want to extend it and copy it over because I think, this play what I have in mind. and then end on a B. So to build what I have in mind, and there's probably 100 different ways to do this in Reaper. I'm going to show you what works best for me. So I only need this selection right here to be repeated for the first and second times. So I'm going to right click, do copy selected area of items, paste that out. And then for the third one, I need the whole thing. So I'll just extend the selection here, copy selected area of items, paste that over to here. And now I can kind of just trim that down and then move these over. Like I said, 100 different ways to do that. It just happened to work for me. And now what we have is this. And now we need something to put at the beginning of there, at the end of there. So I'm going to drag over this post chorus. Actually, I'm just going to hold down Control and copy the media item over there because I don't need the entire region. And as I was doing that, I had a neat thought of, instead of just doing a last note, let's do this entire first kind of little phrase here. Let's see what this sounds like. That sounds great. And then for drums, I can just, split that, hit there, and it'll just kind of end. Perfect. At least for an arrangement, this is going to work just great. All right, so I have my whole song format, except for the intro. I don't have anything for the intro going on. What I think I might want to do is do a similar thing to how I started the solo, where I take half of the post-chorus and then go into the chorus. So I can just kind of drag this over. I'm going to drag this over here. Now from here, we could go right into the verse. I mean, that would be very easy to do, but I kind of want to do a chorus with like a guitar, not a solo, but like a lead, like the guitar lead that kind of goes along with the lead vocal in the chorus. It's just kind of some simple high notes, maybe a little bit, effect of wah or a phaser or something like that. So I'm going to take the chorus with the build, I'm going to drag it over. I think half of this might be best. So we'll do the same thing we've done in the whole thing, just kind of drag this over. Find the spot, drag this over. And now I think this will be good. So now I can drag it over here and kind of line it up. If I wanted to, I could just cut the whole beginning out and leave everything there. But I think for now, this is fine. So I could just go, one measure before all this starts, delete out the drums. I can have, I can find another, I could just do a 4 count on the hi-hat or a fill or something like that. But this is how the song will start then. Think guitar solo over this part, just like a lead. And we're into the verse. I think that'll work really well. Then on the end of this, I can just delete these regions, or because we're going to use this project, one of the main reasons I use Reaper is because the other guys in our band can use it. It's very easy to share projects because we can all use Reaper. We all have the license. It's cheap. It's easy to use, that kind of thing. So when these other guys get into this project, they may want to have copies of these parts. So I'm just going to leave them there at the end, and I'm going to leave, how 100 measures of drums beat or whatever. All right, so that's it. That is using regions to help with your songwriting and arranging in Reaper. I hope this helps. I don't think a lot of people really know about regions and how to use them. And I mean, there's a lot of things regions can do. You can render just a region out. You can, move and copy and things around like this, like I've done. They're really powerful. You can have like sub-regions and top regions and all sorts of stuff. I think for song arranging, it works really well. So if you like this video, let me know. Do you use regions? Do you use, how do you use song arrange? How do you do things? Do you actually physically write stuff down? I know people who still do that. We have a whiteboard at the practice space that we use all the time because it's not as easy in a 4-person live setting that it is when you're just working one-on-one. But let me know what you do, and in the meantime, hit like, comment, subscribe. You know, all the YouTube stuff to get me a whole bunch of views. Just hit 400 subscribers. Thank you very much for that. Hoping to hit 500 before the end of the year, and it's going to be like almost mid-November when this comes out, so I think we have a chance. Don't forget to check out the unofficial Reaper users group Discord server, which link is in the description. And until next video, have yourselves an amazing week. Chorus, post-chorus, verse, coast, post, coast, toast. What do you put in a toaster? It's not toast. Don't forget to check out the unofficial Jesus Christ, why do I have so many problems with that? So I normally don't do requests. It's a matter of me not knowing enough songs and people not knowing songs that I like. But my good friend Arya over at IDDQD Sound put in a request. Okay, this one time. Here you go, Arya.